Have you ever felt an itch in your heart, that quiet ache that tells you something's not quite right in your relationship, no matter how long you've been together? It's not the kind of itch you can scratch with a quick fix or a fleeting moment of passion. It's deeper, more persistent, like a whisper from your soul saying, "Pay attention, darling, something needs tending." Today, I'm going to share a secret that took me decades to learn, one that's been passed down from women who've loved fiercely through the years. We're diving into 5 emotional itchy places that, if ignored, can signal your relationship's emotional lifespan is at risk. But don't worry, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to guide you, like a friend who's walked this road, to show you how to soothe those itches and bring back the warmth, connection, and intimacy you crave. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these itches mean, the mistakes we all make that let them fester, and the simple, heartfelt steps you can take to heal them. Stay with me, because this could change the way you love forever. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Your support means the world, so if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to help spread our message. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment number 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. Let me tell you about Evelyn, a woman I met years ago at a community knitting circle. She was 78, with silver hair that glowed under the sunlight and a laugh that could warm a room. Evelyn had been married to her husband, George, for 52 years. To everyone else, they seemed like the perfect couple, still holding hands at church, still sharing a slice of pie at the diner. But one afternoon, as we sipped tea and untangled yarn, Evelyn leaned in and whispered, "Sometimes, I feel like we're strangers living under the same roof." Her eyes, usually so bright, dimmed with a quiet sadness. She wasn't talking about infidelity or big fights. She was talking about an itch, an emotional disconnect that had crept in over the years, unnoticed until it was almost too late. Evelyn's story isn't unique. It's the story of so many of us who've loved someone for decades, only to wake up one day and feel that itch, that nagging sense that something's missing. So, what are these 5 itchy places in a relationship that, if left unscratched, can signal trouble? Think of them as warning signs, not of physical ailments, but of emotional gaps that need your attention. Today, we're going to explore each one, why it happens, and how to soothe it with love, understanding, and a little bit of wisdom from someone who's been there. Let's start with the first itch, the itch of unspoken words. The first itchy place is when you stop saying what's in your heart. You know that moment when you want to tell your partner how much they mean to you, or how much something they did hurt you, but you swallow it down instead. Maybe you think, "They already know how I feel," or "It's not worth the fight." But every time you hold back, it's like a tiny pebble in your shoe. One pebble doesn't hurt much, but over years, those pebbles pile up, and suddenly you're limping through your relationship. I remember a time when my own husband, bless his heart, forgot our anniversary. It wasn't the first time, and I didn't want to nag. So, I stayed quiet, but that silence grew into resentment. I wasn't just mad about the anniversary, I was mad that he didn't seem to see me anymore. That's what unspoken words do, they build walls where there should be bridges. Why does this happen? Life gets in the way. You're busy with kids, grandkids, doctor's appointments, or just keeping the house running. You assume your partner knows you love them, so you stop saying it. Or you avoid tough conversations because you're tired of arguing. But here's the truth, words are the heartbeat of intimacy. Without them, your emotional connection starts to starve. Evelyn told me she and George used to talk for hours when they were young, about their dreams, their fears, even the silly things. But over time, those talks became quick check-ins about bills or schedules. The silence wasn't loud, but it was heavy. Here's how to soothe this itch: start speaking your heart, even in small ways. Tell your partner one thing you love about them every day. It could be as simple as, "I love how you always make sure the porch light is on when I come home." If something's bothering you, don't let it fester. Say it gently, like, "Honey, when you forgot our coffee date, it made me feel like I wasn't important. Can we talk about it?" These words don't need to be grand, they just need to be honest. When you speak your truth, you're not just scratching an itch, you're planting seeds for deeper connection. The second itchy place is when touch becomes a stranger. Oh, this one hits hard. Remember the early days when you couldn't keep your hands off each other? A brush of fingers, a hug that lingered just a little too long, it was like your bodies spoke a language all their own. But somewhere along the way, touch can fade. Maybe you're tired, maybe you're self-conscious about aging, or maybe you only touch when you're hoping for something more. Whatever the reason, when touch becomes rare, it's like an itch you can't quite reach. It leaves you longing for something you can't name. I'll never forget what my friend Clara, who is 85 and widowed, told me. She said, "The thing I miss most about my Henry isn't the big moments, it's the way he'd rest his hand on my knee while we watch TV." That simple touch made her feel seen, loved, and safe. When touch fades, it's not just physical, it's emotional. You start to feel like roommates instead of lovers. And here's the kicker, many of us, especially as we get older, pull back from touch because we're worried about how our bodies have changed. But let me tell you, your partner isn't thinking about your wrinkles or your aches, they're craving the warmth of your hand in theirs. Why does this happen? Sometimes it's practical, arthritis makes hugging painful, or medications dampen desire. Sometimes it's emotional, you're carrying grudges or you feel disconnected. And sometimes, it's just habit. You get so used to living side by side that you forget to reach out. But touch is a language that speaks louder than words. Without it, your relationship can feel like a house with no heat. To soothe this itch, bring touch back in ways that feel safe and loving. Start small, hold hands during a walk, rest your head on their shoulder while you're reading, or give a gentle squeeze when you pass by in the kitchen. These touches don't have to lead anywhere, they just say, "I'm here, and I choose you." If physical intimacy has been absent for a while, talk about it. Say, "I miss being close to you. Can we find ways to feel connected again?" You'd be surprised how a little vulnerability can open the door to warmth you thought was gone. The third itchy place is when you stop noticing the little things. This one sneaks up on you. In the beginning, you noticed everything, how they stirred their coffee, the way their eyes crinkled when they laughed. But after years together, it's easy to take those details for granted. You stop seeing the effort they put into making your favorite meal or the way they still wear that cologne you love. And when you stop noticing, your partner starts to feel invisible. That's an itch that can make even the strongest relationship feel fragile. Evelyn told me about a moment that broke her heart. George had spent all morning fixing a leaky faucet, something he knew bothered her. But she was so caught up in her routine that she didn't even say thank you. Later, he said quietly, "I just wanted to make you happy." That's when she realized she'd stopped noticing the ways he showed his love. And when you stop noticing, your partner stops feeling valued. It's not about big gestures, it's about the small, everyday ways they show up for you. Why does this happen? Familiarity can make us blind. You're so used to your partner's presence that you forget to look at them with fresh eyes. Or maybe you're distracted by life's demands, health issues, finances, or just the weight of routine. But here's the thing, noticing the little things is like watering a plant. It keeps your relationship alive and growing. To soothe this itch, make a habit of paying attention. Each day, find one thing your partner does that you're grateful for and tell them. It could be, "I noticed you folded the laundry even though you were tired. That means so much to me." Or take a moment to really look at them, see the way they smile, the way they move. Compliment something specific, like, "I love how your hands still feel so strong when you hold mine." When you notice the little things, you're telling your partner, "I see you, and you matter." That's the kind of love that keeps an itch from turning into a wound. Now, let's move to the fourth itchy place, when you stop making time for each other. This one's a silent thief, stealing the joy from your relationship one busy day at a time. When you were first in love, time together was a priority: late-night talks, lazy Sunday mornings, or just sitting on the porch watching the world go by. But as the years pile up, time gets eaten away by responsibilities, routines, or even the comfort of familiarity. You think, "We're together all the time, we don't need to plan anything special." But without intentional moments, your connection starts to itch, like skin that's gone too long without care. I remember a couple, Martha and Tom, who'd been married 45 years. They came to me for advice because they felt like they were drifting apart. Martha said, "We're always in the same house, but I miss us." When I asked when they last did something just for the two of them, they looked at each other, stumped. Life had become a checklist: doctor visits, grocery runs, helping the grandkids. They'd stopped carving out time to just be together. That's when the itch of disconnection started to grow. Time isn't just minutes on a clock, it's the space where love breathes. Why does this happen? As we age, life can feel like it's speeding up and slowing down all at once. You're juggling health challenges, family obligations, or maybe you're just tired. It's easy to assume your relationship can coast on autopilot. But love doesn't work that way. Without time to connect, you're not building new memories, you're just living off the old ones. And memories, no matter how sweet, can't soothe the itch of a present that feels empty. Here's how to soothe this itch: make time for each other, even if it's small. Schedule a date once a week, it doesn't have to be fancy. Maybe it's sharing a cup of coffee on the back porch, listening to your favorite old records, or taking a slow walk around the block. The key is to be fully present, no phones, no distractions. Just you and your partner, soaking in each other's company. If mobility or health is an issue, get creative. Sit together and look through old photos, or watch a movie you both love, holding hands. One evening, I told my husband, "Let's pretend we're on our first date again." We laughed, shared stories, and for those few hours, the years melted away. Time together is like a balm, it heals the itch and reminds you why you chose each other. The fifth and final itchy place is when you stop dreaming together. Oh, this one can sting. When you were young, you and your partner dreamed big, about the home you'd build, the places you'd travel, or the life you'd create. Those dreams were like a roadmap, guiding you through life's ups and downs. But as we get older, it's easy to stop dreaming. Maybe you think, "We're too old for that," or "We've already done enough." But when you stop dreaming, your relationship loses its spark, like a fire that's gone down to embers. That itch is a sign you're not looking forward together anymore. Evelyn, the woman I told you about, shared a story that stayed with me. After years of feeling disconnected, she and George hit a breaking point. One night, she asked him, "What do you want our life to look like in 5 years?" He was quiet for a long time, then admitted he hadn't thought about it. That question sparked something. They started talking about small dreams, planting a garden, taking a road trip to see the Grand Canyon, even just sitting together every evening to watch the sunset. Those dreams, however small, gave them something to look forward to. They weren't just living, they were building something again. Why does this happen? Life can make you feel like dreaming is a young person's game. Health issues, financial worries, or just the weight of routine can make the future feel like something to endure, not something to shape. But dreams aren't about being unrealistic, they're about hope. When you stop dreaming together, you stop growing together, and that's when the itch of stagnation sets in. To soothe this itch, start dreaming again, no matter how small it seems. Sit down with your partner and ask, "What's one thing you'd love for us to do together?" It could be learning a new recipe, visiting a place you've always talked about, or even just planning a family gathering. Write it down, make a plan, and take one tiny step toward it. Dreams don't have to be grand, they just have to be shared. When you dream together, you're saying, our story isn't over. We're still writing it. That's what keeps love alive, even after decades. Now, let's talk about why these itches matter so much. Each one, unspoken words, fading touch, unnoticed details, lost time, and forgotten dreams, is a signal that your emotional connection needs tending. Ignore them, and they grow, like an itch that turns into a sore. But face them with love and intention, and they become opportunities to deepen your bond. The biggest mistake we make is thinking love can survive on its own. It can't. Love is like a garden, it needs care, attention, and a little bit of work every day. But oh, the beauty that blooms when you tend it. Here's the good news, soothing these itches doesn't require grand gestures or starting over. It's about small, consistent acts of love that say, you're still my home. Let me share one more story to show you what I mean. My friend Dorothy, who is 82, told me how she and her husband, Frank, brought their marriage back to life after years of feeling like strangers. They started with one simple rule: every night, they'd sit together for 10 minutes, no TV, no distractions, and share one thing they loved about their day and one thing they loved about each other. At first, it felt awkward, but soon, those 10 minutes became the heartbeat of their relationship. Dorothy said, it wasn't about fixing everything at once. It was about showing up, little by little, until we found each other again. So, here's what you can do right now to start soothing these itches. First, pick one itch that resonates with you. Maybe it's speaking your heart or bringing back touch. Commit to one small action today. Tell your partner something you've been holding back, give them a gentle hug for no reason, or notice one thing they did and thank them for it. Second, have an honest conversation. Ask, do you feel like we're as connected as we could be? What can we do to feel closer? Listen without fixing or defending, just hear them. And third, make a promise to yourself to keep showing up. Love isn't a one-time victory, it's a daily choice to choose each other, even when life gets heavy. As we wrap up, I want you to hold on to this: your relationship's lifespan isn't measured by years, but by the love you pour into it. Those itches, unspoken words, fading touch, unnoticed details, lost time, and forgotten dreams, are just reminders to pay attention. You have the power to soothe them, to bring back the warmth, the laughter, the intimacy that makes your heart sing. Think about Evelyn and George, who found their way back to each other by talking, dreaming, and choosing love every day. Think about Dorothy and Frank, who rebuilt their connection 10 minutes at a time. Their stories are proof that it's never too late to love deeply, fully, and fiercely. So, I'm leaving you with a question: what's one small thing you can do today to soothe an itch in your relationship? Drop it in the comments below. I read every one, and I'd love to hear your heart. If this video touched you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more stories and wisdom to keep your love alive. Your relationship is worth every moment you invest in it. Let's keep tending those gardens together. See you in the next one.